What is going on, Bears Nation? We are back with massive news rocking the league, and you need to hear this before the trade deadline fever gets any crazier. Everyone is buzzing about a potential blockbuster deal involving a top-tier pass rusher, but I have the inside scoop on why the front office took the stance they did, and why you should be relieved they didn't pull the trigger. Is this the right move for our future or a missed opportunity to dominate? Stick around because the reality might surprise you. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and comment your take below. The Chicago Bears made the calculated decision to steer clear of the Max Crosby trade sweepstakes, prioritizing roster stability and long-term financial health over an aggressive, high-cost acquisition. With the Raiders seeking a massive haul, the potential price of multiple first-round picks was deemed an overpay for the defensive end. While Max Crosby is undeniably a talented, hard-nosed defensive player who aligns perfectly with the gritty identity fans expect, the organization remained disciplined. The Bears currently hold the 25th overall pick, and parting with premium draft capital, especially given Max Crosby's history of multiple surgeries, including a minor knee procedure this past offseason, would have carried significant risk. Staying the course allows the team to avoid reckless spending while maintaining flexibility for the future. The front office, led by Ryan Poles, clearly established a line in the sand that they were unwilling to cross, regardless of the temptation to add a marquee pass rushing talent. Instead of leveraging future assets to win a bidding war, the team is choosing to evaluate the landscape of the edge position more patiently. This approach mirrors the conservative yet strategic mindset currently guiding the franchise after a productive season. By refusing to gut their draft assets, the Bears keep their options open for the upcoming draft, where finding young, cost-controlled talent remains the priority. For the fan base, this news confirms that the leadership is not looking to accelerate the rebuilding process through short-term fixes that could compromise the team's sustainability. It is a moment for disciplined decision-making, ensuring that the foundation built over the last year remains intact for the challenges of 2026 and beyond. Bear down. This brings us to the crucial question: why does this decision matter for the team right now? The Bears are in a delicate phase of their development, coming off their first successful season in a considerable time. The roster possesses core pieces, but it still requires high-level talent at key positions, particularly along the defensive front. By passing on Max Crosby, the organization is signaling that they are not yet in a desperate all-in mode that justifies sacrificing multiple top-tier draft selections. The edge position remains a glaring need, but the front office seems focused on finding a fit that doesn't jeopardize their future cap space or draft pipeline. The reality is that the 2026 roster, while improved, is still evolving. Introducing a massive contract or losing future draft depth for a single player could have created long-term complications, especially with the team's current salary cap dynamics. This matters because it defines the team's strategy, identifying quality over quantity and refusing to be drawn into inflated market prices. The focus now shifts toward internal evaluations and potential free agency moves that offer more value without the extreme cost. Whether the team pursues a veteran presence or focuses on adding young depth through the draft, the strategy is clearly rooted in avoiding the pitfalls of reckless, high-risk trades. The fan base can take this as a sign that the leadership is viewing the championship window through a realistic lens, focusing on sustainable growth rather than forced, immediate, and potentially damaging roster pivots. The consistency of this approach will be tested throughout the remaining offseason, but for now, the message is clear. They are playing the long game with the aim of building a competitive, lasting presence in the league. With the Max Crosby pursuit officially closed, the spotlight naturally turns to the 2026 NFL Draft and who the organization might target at the 25th overall position. A player like Akeem Mesador has surfaced as a potential candidate, though he brings a complex profile. Standing at roughly 6'3" and weighing over 260 pounds, his physical measurements are adequate, but his age is a factor, as he will turn 25 before his rookie season begins. While his production on film is undeniably impressive, drafting a player of that age in the first round would be an outlier for most teams, including the Bears. The front office must weigh his refinement and polish against the longevity concerns inherent in selecting a prospect who is already nearing the typical age curve of a seasoned player. If the Bears decide to stand firm at 25, they must determine if the immediate impact provided by a polished defender outweighs the need for younger, higher upside prospects. There is also the matter of defensive tackle Zach Pickens and other current interior players. The team is currently evaluating if these individuals fit the long-term vision or if the position is due for an overhaul. The team's approach at the defensive tackle spot is a point of intrigue, especially as they look toward 2026 and beyond. If a trade-down scenario presents itself, it could allow the team to accumulate more picks, providing the capital necessary to address multiple holes in the depth chart, rather than betting everything on a single high-profile selection. This analytical approach to draft capital highlights the meticulous, fact-based process currently driving the decision-making in Chicago, leaving little room for sentimentality in roster construction. Looking at the broader roster, the discussion surrounding potential moves at the defensive edge has intensified. With the trade for center Garrett Bradbury already in the books, the team has signaled a willingness to make marginal improvements that provide value without sacrificing the bank. Bradbury, while not a superstar, is viewed as a serviceable starting center who fits the scheme, serving as a placeholder while the team maintains financial flexibility. This leads to questions about potential high-impact moves elsewhere, such as whether a trade for veteran Khalil Mack could be in the cards, or if they will target other established names like Trey Hendrickson in free agency. The trade involving Montez Sweat is another topic frequently analyzed. He carries a significant cap hit, and if the organization were to move on, they could potentially save nearly $17 million. Such a move would only make sense if the team had a clear, superior plan to replace him. As it stands, Montez Sweat remains the most reliable edge presence, and despite some inconsistencies, his departure would create a void that is difficult to fill through free agency alone. The current strategy appears to be a delicate balance between maintaining a competitive edge and preparing for future financial flexibility. Decisions regarding who to keep, who to trade, and who to bring in will dictate the team's trajectory for the rest of the year. The organization is keeping all doors open, evaluating every player on the current roster against the potential available in the market. The ultimate goal remains providing the coaching staff with a competitive group, and every transaction is a calculated step toward achieving that stability, ensuring the team is positioned to perform at a higher level than the previous season. As we move forward, the focus remains firmly on how the team will navigate the remaining needs on the roster before the season kicks off. The edge position is the most critical area to monitor, as the team needs to generate more pressure to support the secondary. Whether it is through free agency, with names like Bradley Chubb or Demario Davis potentially entering the conversation, or via a strategic draft maneuver, the organization is clearly exploring every avenue. The decision to pass on Max Crosby sets the tone for the rest of the offseason. The Bears are looking for smart, sustainable investments. They have already shown they are willing to part with mid-round picks to secure serviceable starters like Garrett Bradbury, but they are drawing a firm line when it comes to the extreme costs associated with top-tier, high-maintenance acquisitions. This disciplined approach is designed to provide long-term benefits rather than a fleeting one-season boost. Fans should watch for how the team manages its current salary cap, particularly regarding extensions and potential restructuring of current contracts. Every move made is a reflection of the team's commitment to avoiding the cap traps that have hindered franchises in the past. As we look ahead, the team's actions in the coming weeks will reveal just how aggressively they intend to push for improvements. The goal is a balanced roster that can compete consistently rather than a top-heavy team built on risky gambles. By sticking to their internal valuation and refusing to overextend, the Bears are laying the groundwork for a period of stability, ensuring that every piece added is a functional and strategic improvement to the current lineup. The season ahead is filled with possibilities, and the front office is methodically working to ensure they are prepared to capitalize on every opportunity.